Welcome back to the DNX show, and today we're going to be talking all about the Washougal National. All right, Doc, so for the 450 class, I think both of our takeaways has to be that it was the best moto of the year until the red flag. I truthfully thought that four-way battle, it was becoming more of a three-way battle with Chase, Hunter, and Jett. Tomac was kind of fading in the back a little bit, but I thought personally if the red flag didn't come out, we were going to have for another, say, 2 to 3 laps, I think. And then I think what we saw happen after the red flag was going to come to fruition anyways. But I think we would have had another couple more laps of just Chase trying to go after Jett. And because he was kind of, as he said in the post-race interviews, he was kind of afraid of third place. He didn't want to give up third because he would have lost the overall. And he played it smart compared to what happened at Dallas, which we all have criticized him for. So I think personally, even though we had the best race going, it probably would have ended exactly how the red flag did.
Yeah, no, it was a crazy race. Even my 6-year-old son was like literally on the edge of his seat and was like, whoa, this is a sick race. I was like, yeah, this is like peak racing, kid.
This is what we want to see every single weekend. And I think going forward, we might get it for a moto, you know, like I would say first motos going forward if they all start up front. Yeah, because I feel like the series is kind of shaping around to be like, okay, they're just going to consistently finish where they are, and then they're going to finish out the series and get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, though. It was 2 motos in a row. They were in the top 5 on the after first couple turns. And
we haven't seen that all year, basically, right? I'd still want to see a Tomac versus Jett battle again. Truthfully, when was the last time we saw it? Paula?
Like, yeah, like, Moto 1, Paula.
So, it's been 8 rounds, 9 rounds, and we've only seen it, I guess, those 2 motos at Paula. But I don't know if Tomac can get there. I think Chase is the only guy. And we'll get into this in the surprise here in a second, but like it was really cool to see Chase get a whole shot. First off, I don't think he's ever done that in his career, start in front of Jett, and then lead for the entire moto. And then Jett making the same mistake as Chase Sexton. Like that, I've never seen that happen.
The roles were completely reversed. Chase looked really good, like really fast, but patient, you know, like, and didn't seem flustered that Jett was all over him for a little while, you know? I was really, really impressed with Chase. I've been commenting, you know, everyone's been sharing how cool it was. Chase, you know, broke the record, won. And I even commented on one of, I think, your posts that we were all Chase fans at Washougal. And like, I really do think like the mass majority of people were rooting for Chase. And especially with his history of like throwing that specific situation, it was really cool to see him not and like really put it all together.
I was honestly like sitting here watching it. I'm like rooting for him. You guys know I'm a big Chase guy. But deep down, I think everybody watching the moto, deep down, they're like, oh, when's he going to make a mistake? Yeah, just like, when's he going to tip over? When's Jett going to get by him? And to see what you say, the roles being reversed and Jett, the one crashing, I was just dumbfounded. Like, I couldn't believe we watched that happen in real time.
I've been saying it, and then, you know, Paula happened where it basically threw this theory out the window. But I really do think Chase battling someone like Cooper Webb in Supercross, he had to have like learned and grown a lot from that.
I think he definitely has, because he's mentioned it in multiple interviews now. Like just for this example at Washougal, he's like, all right, I pulled away from Tomac. I'm going to settle for second because I'm going to get the overall. Like, I don't need to push this pace to catch Jett and try to make a pass like I would have done at Dallas, right? And throw away that overall, which hindsight 50-50, like that could have won him the championship right there. So I think he has definitely matured in that aspect of his racing, which is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, you can't really say for, I guess, going forward the last 3 outdoor races, right? Because his championships, it doesn't matter. But SMX playoffs, I think what happens in that situation, because it's also a 2-moto format, it's say he wins Moto 1, is he just going to sell for a second, you know, for the points? And I think it's going to be definitely interesting going forward.
Yeah, no, I mean, he looks really good. His bike looked insane at that track.
Yeah, I mean, you see that whoop speed? Like,
Yeah.
holy crap. I did hear that he said in the press conference to Jett, he was like, Jett, I was in 4th gear. And Jett was like, what? I was in 3rd gear in the whoops. And you can see the difference what 4th gear did, like, for him. He was catching those guys consistently in the whoops. He even made the pass on Jett, which was gnarly. And, like, I was up on my feet. I was like, holy crap, what the hell? Chase just passed him. And then Jett got right by him. So, like, it didn't really matter too much. But it was honestly very, very fun to watch as that moto portrayed in second moto. And then first moto, I truthfully thought maybe, what's your opinion on this? Did you think he was going to pass Jett, or do you think he was going to pass Tomac after he crashed with 12 minutes left?
Jett?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially it tightened up quite a bit with 2 minutes left or something, like right when they got into the lappers. I mean, yeah, I was not super sold on, after Tomac last week, I was fully expecting Jett to just get around him, but it was cool to see Tomac turn it up. And I think the lappers played a big part into that, but yeah, no, I definitely was assuming Tomac was going to just fade a little bit.
Yeah, especially with the speed that we saw Jett have. I thought that tiny mistake wasn't going to make a big difference for him. But it took him a while to get going again. Like, he got gapped by Tomac in like a lap, like 2 laps, because I think his lap time was like 3 seconds, 4 seconds off. So he lost all that pace, and then he caught up to him, like you said, in like 2 minutes, and then lappers. I think he ran out of tear-offs too, which doesn't help in that situation.
He was rubbing his goggles with his arm, right? And they were saying that he was running out of tear-offs, or he ran out of tear-offs. But I'm pretty sure when they were talking about how he was out of tear-offs, he pulled the tear-off. Like, I don't know if it was his last one. Like, he could tell it was the last one, so he was trying to make it last. But he definitely pulled the tear-off when they were like, yeah, he's out. And he's like, he ripped it.
So, yeah.
I'm like, well,
then I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but for the 250s, let's be honest with us, like with you guys, like nothing really crazy happened. Like, we already know what's going to happen in the 250 class for the championship. Like, Joe's not going to catch him anymore. He's 45 points down, 3 races to go. And so, like, our takeaways, Deegan's still the guy. Joe is creeping up. Joe's had a fantastic 3 rounds in a row. He should have won all 3 rounds, back break at Millville, right? But then again, like, Deegan's hurt. He has that issue with that hit with his quad, right? So overall speaking, we're having some good races by Joe, and don't take anything away from what he's doing. But if Deegan's fully healthy, I expect him to be right there with Joe. And then, so, like, my takeaway for you, Doc, my question is like, do we see Deegan on a 450 at Buds if he wraps this up early?
I mean, I think it would be like a strictly let's go have fun. And if he's going to be on a 250 for Nations, if he's going to race 250 for Soupy, which we don't know, there's rumors about that, but I don't know. I don't really see the benefit of it, right? And SMX, right? Like, he's going to have to get right back on a 250 for SMX. I don't really see why risk it. And, like, he's such a they're so worried about their image, right? The Deegan family, not in like a negative way, but like their image is something important to them. And I feel like no prep jumping on a 450 would really hurt that, right? Like, I feel like he's going to get 5th, 6th, right? Like, I think next year, if he was to jump on a 450, I do think he could be getting consistent podiums and winning races. But I feel like no prep at all, jumping on a 450 and then trying to jump in and beat Chase and Jett right now, I don't know. And then, like, I just feel like getting a 5th is just probably not going to look great, right? Like, I mean, when there's no reason not to, but maybe it's a good play. Maybe he does get 5th or 6th, and then everyone hates on him, and it just creates more hype, and then he comes out and bodies everybody next year.
I mean, yeah, you could do it as that storyline too, right? Like, First ever 450 race, he struggles and gets 10th. And then what's he actually going to do on a 450, right?
Right. And then all the talk is about that one race going into the season when he's actually going to be fine next year, you know? So I don't know. Maybe it is like a genius play from that side of things. But I also just kind of think like, man, why? You know, if he was moving up to a 450, then yeah, that would make sense. But
yeah, and like I would see it. There's like two things for me, right? One is if he did Motocross of Nations on a 450, then sure, put him out there, get a little test run, right? But from my understanding, it's going to be Sexton Tomac, so he's going to be on the 250.
yeah, right.
And then my other thing is like Lewis, I believe, brought it up in the press day interviews, and Deegan said that his 450 is being built, but he doesn't have confirmation that he's going to be racing. So that's why I kind of brought it up to you. Like, do you think he should race? And I think you're totally right. I mean, there's no really reward unless like you're going with the storyline. Right? Because if he goes out in the 250, he's going to get first or second. Payday is going to be 10 times better than a fifth or sixth, probably, right? And then also he goes out, possibly wins his last ever 250 outdoor race, which he probably wants to do, right? And then he only has a week off, and then it's SMX playoffs, so he's going to be right back on the 250 if he goes 450. So
I just feel like, and then obviously he's been saying that they have a 450 being built. Like, I don't really think that means anything. I would assume that most of the 250 guys have a 450 that they test on, train on, whatever. So like, and this is not the first time he's ever been on a 450. He has shown that many times. So like, I feel like people are reading into it too much, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe he wraps it up and then comes out in a 450, and that would be sick. I mean, it'd be cool to see him up there, you know, in the mix.
I mean, honestly, I think as a fan, it would be super sick.
Right.
But realistically,
it makes Bud's fun to watch.
Yeah, but realistically, like, what would be the point at that end of the day, right? Let's go into our surprise. Let's stay in the 250s. And both of us can agree on this. I think everybody in the comment section can also agree with this, that the best ride definitely needs to go to Austin Forkner. All right, he goes 5-5 on the day. We get an Austin Forkner showing. He looks like he's back. He's racy, especially in Moto 2. He went down to the last lap, and he passed two guys on the last lap. He also passed Mikel Harp the lap before, and then I believe it was Drew Adams the lap prior to that. So, like, he was on rails ending that moto, and it kind of gives me hope going forward. Like, he could be a top 5 guy consistently going forward.
I mean, we all know that Austin's insane. I think potentially like one of the best to ever do it, minus the injuries, right? Like, I think it's like one of those like what if careers. Like, if he had been healthy, I mean, because he was beating Jett, he was beating, you know, everyone when he was, Chase, everyone. He's beating everyone when he's on. So yeah, I don't think anybody was not super excited to see that. And I think if it was truly just a building year, they executed it perfectly, right? Like, started off really rough and now all the way up to a 5-5. And it doesn't really seem like a fluke because his last moto last week was pretty good too, you know? So like, definitely going the right direction, and hopefully do you imagine he gets a podium by the end of the year? Be so far.
That'd be insane. Like, starting off the year so rough. I mean, I think I don't know if he missed a round, but he was definitely hurt most of the freaking Supercross season. Was just banged up, I would say, like with minor injuries. And then come outdoor season, he hasn't had a great time out here, man. I'm looking at his results: 16, 18, 22, 16, 20, and then Spring Creek happened and he went 8th. Washougal happened 5th. And like, I think the turning point from Red Bud to Spring Creek is massive, right? I mean, that's 12 spots, but also just the riding has been better. He looked better at Spring Creek. He looked racy at Washougal. Now, maybe is that just Washougal? He's kind of been pretty good at Washougal in the past. But overall, as you mentioned, if this is a building year, I think it's fantastic because now he's finally finding his stride. If you get in more top 5s, maybe a podium to finish outdoors, go into SMX. Is he a top 5 guy SMX wise? If he's kind of back, you know what I mean? Because we know how good he is in Supercross prior to the injuries, right? Prior to possibly this year. But regardless, I mean, he looks like he's almost there and almost ready to make a breakthrough for a podium. But going into 450 biggest surprise, I think personally, it's Jett crashing 3 weeks in a row. And my question for you is that due to Sexton? Like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not. However, I mean, Sexton came back at Redbud, Jett crashed, all right? Sexton was there at Millville, Jett crashed, all right? He crashed behind Chase at Washougal. I mean, is Chase the common factor here?
Well, I think the common factors, I guess, other than, I mean, Millville, I guess he crashed in the lead. I guess, was he in the lead, Redbud, too, when he crashed?
He wasn't in the lead, but he was
up there.
Up there.
I was gonna say, until I remembered the Millville one, that like I feel like it's just we never see Jett behind anybody ever, and so the pace is really high, and like maybe he is pushing more than it seems, right? Like maybe he is really, you know, at 100% when he's behind the guys to try and get around them, and that's just causing little mistakes. I also think he's just human, you know? He's just making mistakes and maybe overly confident. And I mean, like, I don't really see it continuing. It has been 3 weeks in a row, so it is continuing. But like, I don't know. I don't know. Like he's crashed 3 weeks in a row, but I don't really see it as like a flaw. I just feel like it's, you know, like, I don't know. He's so good everywhere else. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, even crashing, let's think about it. Even crashing Redbud, he went from 18th to 1st, right? Millville, he couldn't catch his brother, but he did get second. And then obviously this past weekend crashing in second place, and he couldn't catch Tomac, right? As you mentioned, he makes mistakes. He's human. But then what I like about it is he bounces back immediately, right? Like Moto 2, Millville, dominated, right? Moto 2, Washougal, dominated. Redbud was Moto 2. He went 18th to 1st, but you get the gist. Moto 1, he did really, really well, right? So, I mean, it has nothing to do with Sexton, but it is kind of interesting to see a little pattern form of him crashing. Like, is he losing a little bit of focus out there? Like, what's going on, right? Or is it just he's just making tiny mistakes? And I think it's kind of funny because in that same situation, like I posted about it, and everybody in the comments say like, oh, you already know Jett was going to pass him if he didn't crash. I'm thinking to myself, like, isn't that the same thing with Chase? Like, if Chase is in second and he's right on his ass and then tips over, like, isn't he going to be able to pass him?
I also don't know. Chase rode really well. And, like, I mean, maybe, you know, Jett's really explosive and get around people and kind of break them immediately. But Chase also, like, it wasn't like that was the first time Jett was right behind him. He had been behind him for quite some time and giving him a lot of pressure, and Chase held up fine, you know? So I don't know. That track looked hard to pass on too.
Oh yeah, extremely hard to pass. But it's just interesting in my eyes to see it happen in reverse here, and then people coming to Jett's defense like, oh, he was going to pass him regardless. But then, I mean, you could say the same thing with Chase when he crashed. You know, I'm just saying. But if it continues to happen, like, that's kind of interesting. It's just interesting to see. And like, if he tips over in SMX playoffs with only 20 minutes on the line, it's a much shorter track, like in retrospect to like outdoors, right? So like, that's going to be huge if he continues making those mistakes later down the road.
I'm going to be honest. I think he's put the whoop down on everybody in SMX.
Hey, Chase said in an interview with Lewis that he's coming in full swinging. So,
I mean, he's already swinging. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Unless he gets bad starts, I don't really see Jett losing that.
Chase needs to pull whole shot. He needs to pull whole shot. If he can lead from the get-go, he has a shot. I don't see vice versa where he doesn't pull a whole shot. He's not beating Jett. I don't think anybody's beating Jett if Jett's pulling a whole shot unless he tips over, which 3 weeks in a row.
Which has happened. Yeah.
So, all right, going into some letdowns here. And let's stay in the 450 class. And I think everybody can say that it's Prado. Like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that, Prado? First moto, pulls whole shot, fades to 8th. Second moto.
Looked great, too. And then wasn't there.
He was not there. And then second moto, he was top 3 on the start. Top 3. I don't even know. Like, I think he maybe been top 2 on the start. And then he finished 19th. Like, I made an Instagram stories, like, 19th? Are we, like, benching Prado at one point? Like, dude, you can't have a factory Kawasaki guy go 19th. Like, that's Prado, 2-time MXGP champion. The panic button needs to be... I thought he was going to be fine after Red Bud in Millville, like, for a little bit. You know, he went 12-5 in Millville. Okay, whatever. That 5th place is really good. 19th? Dude, I couldn't believe... Like, we were watching the leaderboard on our watch party. I'm like, oh, Prado's there. Oh, Prado's in 8th. Oh, Prado's in 11th. Oh, snap. Prado's in 22nd. I'm like, dude.
You see that interview with Chase and Mathis where they're talking about the bike, and Chase kind of slipped up and said that he almost said that, like, he rode it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or I'm racing him and it's super fast, you know, and then they're talking about Chad Reed rode that bike and it's crazy fast. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, something's not working at all.
I don't think it's the power. Obviously, he's pulling whole shot, man.
It can't be. Look at the Cairoli on a stock Ducati. You know, or even look at some of the privateers. I mean, Colt Nichols went 12-9. He's on a Zook.
Valentin Giroda went 9-10 for 8th overall on a privateer Yamaha, bro. Like, it
ain't power.
It ain't power. I think what it is just comfortability on the motorcycle. Late in motos, especially early in motos for Washougal's take, but like late in motos, you can see lap times. Shout out to Tanner on this. He posts it all the time. Like, he shows lap times where it's like consistent, and then like lap 9-10, it's like 4 seconds off, and then it's 4 seconds off for the rest of the... Like, he just kind of gives up in that aspect. But I don't know if it's giving up or just he can't run the pace anymore. I said this on, I think, in a watch party. Like, you throw Chase on that motorcycle, the same motorcycle as Prado, he's not going 8-19, man. I don't care what's on that motorcycle. He's getting top 5 on that bike.
I feel like any of the top 5 guys, you could put them on a showroom bike and they would not score 1 point, you know?
Yeah, it's just insane to me that he's going 8-19, and I really want to give him the benefit of the doubt for him being a first year here, but like, Valentin Giroud is a first time here and he's getting 8th. Like, I can't give him the benefit of doubt anymore when privateer guys are beating him straight up that have never been to these tracks. Like, so, yeah, it's just, Prado, I really hope in your YouTube series you give us some insight, man. Like, please give us something. I know, but please give us something of what's going on. There's rumors that anytime that, like, there's rumors, it's not necessarily rumors, but like, his contract is for 3 years. But I guess, like, if he would to leave USA, it would be the end of next year. Like, he would, I guess, maybe it's like a player option for 3rd year, so he can just leave after the next year. But there's actually, shout out to Jordan, he has a question about that in our fan questions, so we'll get into that here in a second. But I don't know what's going on with Prado. I truthfully don't. Hopefully the next 2 weeks he can figure it out. So, hopefully. And then another guy on Kawasaki for the 250 guys. What the fuck is going on with Levi Kitchen, man? Holy crap. Like, I had hope. Like, I know what, I completely understand that it's not his racetrack. I totally get it.
I mean, it kind of is racetrack.
Yeah, he lives there. He basically is from there, right? But like, he's not really good there. However, he literally
9-10.
Bro, what?
I would like to Men in Black flash you guys my bold prediction for the season where I said that Levi Kitchen was going to have the red plate longer than Hayden Deegan.
You probably were thinking about that prior to his crash at Daytona, dude. Like, dude, he has been, I'm going to be honest, like, this is going to sound horrible, but it's just been mid the entire, he's had great finishes, 4 podiums in a row, right? With Hangtown, Thunder Valley, High Point, Southwick. And the last 3 weeks have just been dog, like 7, 6, 11. Like, what is happening with Levi?
I hate it though. I mean, like, yeah, watching him at Redbud was so fun because he's got such a cool style. I say it every week, but I don't know. We're cooked.
I think everybody thought at Redbud when he was flying, like he should have won that if he doesn't tip over in that corner after the finish. He should have won that moto. But we were all thinking this. Oh, Levi's back. Okay, let's go, baby. Like his performance in Moto 1 from, I think it was like 17th or something like that with 2 crashes up to second was impressive. Then he should have won that second moto. We're like, oh, he's cooking. He hasn't cooked.
There's always not always, but like we've said many times, there's often a underlying issue that isn't being talked about. Your buddy might have a broken leg, and they're not talking about it. You never know.
Okay, so now moving on to our best rides. And I think we'll say in the 250 class here, 250 best ride, got to give it to Joe for one. Like, dominated that second moto. I think he was up at 20 seconds at one point. But there's one other guy that deserves some hype here, and that is Dylan Schwartz, bro. He finished 4th in Moto 1, 3rd place the entire moto, and then Garrett got him with like 2 laps to go. And then second moto, he actually was like buried. I mean, buried in that second moto. I think he was outside the top 25, got all the way up to 11th, got 6th overall. He's kind of on fire, and he's a privateer guy with Bar X Yamaha. Like, it's really cool to see Dylan Schwartz up there in the mix, even battling with Garrett in 3rd place, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he was there for a really long time and looked like he belonged. It wasn't one of those just everyone crashed and he was just there. Not a mud race, like nothing weird about it. He was just there and looked like he was meant to be there.
Yeah, it was very, very cool to watch. And like during the moto too, he was kind of gapping like 4th place a little bit. Like he was by himself the entire moto basically, because Joe and Deegan were up ahead. Dylan's by himself, and then you had Garrett in 4th. And I think Garrett kind of just played the long game there in that situation, because you can kind of see Dylan's fade a little bit. He probably never rode that pace for 35 minutes. Yeah, so, and Garrett has, because Garrett's horrible at starts, so like he has to. But overall, just great job, Dylan. That was an amazing ride. Amazing ride. And then for 450s, best ride, I think personally it has to be RJ. RJ goes, I had it 4.6 on the day for what, 5th? I think it was 5th overall. That's very good for RJ. And he was riding right there with Hunter prior to his crash. Was that in Moto 1 or Moto 2? I think it was Moto 2. He was right there with Hunter before he crashed. And that should have been a 4.5 on the day. He was faster than Hunter. And I think RJ is going to be a threat next year, dude.
I agree. However, I got another best ride for you from the 450 class. We're going to go with Colt Nichols, 12.9. I think it ties his best career finish.
Sheesh.
So
is that real?
Yeah. I saw something on Instagram that, let's see.
Oh, that is his best ever finish. I'm looking at his 450 class stats.
Yeah.
And his best ever finish before that was a 10th. So that's his best finish ever. Nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking
I mean, you got to
sick.
give that a best ride, you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. I did not know that. Yeah,
considering he's been like barely in the top 15 up until this point. So
he does have a
stretch.
UCL injury, I believe, for the thumb. Pretty sure.
Yep.
So yeah, very, very impressive. And hopefully he can stay in the top 10s, man. Everybody knows Colt can ride. So hopefully he can stay in the top 10s. Okay, so now I just want to do a little minor thing here. And that's going to be talking about our predictions here. And for my bold prediction, I had 3 privateers in the 450 class in top 10. And are we counting Colt as a privateer?
Yeah.
Okay, because then we did it. We got Geode, Colt, Mitchell, and then Harry Koulos in 11th, which you actually got correct.
Oh, I did? Yes.
So
I'm just, I mean, actually yours is far more impressive than my 11th, but I mean, yeah, I would count Colt because, I mean, yeah.
All right, I'm counting it then. If you say yes, everybody I think in the comment sections also said yes.
Wait. What was? Do you remember? Remember, I told you I'd give you 5 points if you got them right. Did you get them right?
Yeah, it was Ben Paturel, Harry Koulos, and Geode, and I was 2 out of 3. Ben crashed though, so shout out to Ben. But yeah, you got extra 5 points for that. So
Oh my gosh, I'm back in business, boys.
R.I.P. However, going into some of our other stuff, top privateer, I got Schwartz. Shock had a bad day. Head to head, Tomac versus RJ. I got that one. You got Forkner going against Smith.
Oh?
Forkner was on fire. And then I'm pretty sure we all we suck. We absolutely are horrible at our podium here. Both of us got it all wrong. So I mean, let's be fair. Like, we didn't have Chase winning. All right. So
and I certainly didn't have Joe winning at Washougal. That's for sure.
yeah, so cut us some slack on that. All right. Cut us some slack. But
It's fine.
yeah, and then total points here, you currently have 78. And then after that weekend, I currently have 83. So you're catching up.
That's with my 5?
Yeah, that's with your 5. So now you're down 5. So you're catching up. You got 3 rounds to go.
We got to make some more wagers, chat.
All right, so now going into our fans' questions here. And I got quite a few of you guys on Instagram. Make sure you guys are hitting me up on the Instagram stories when I post about this so I can answer you guys' questions. All right, so first up. So who are your guys' favorite riders? This is from Bentley. Mine's Chase. And who is my 250 guy?
Only get one?
Yep, only one.
I have to pick one?
You could just say your guys' favorites. Honestly, all of the guys are my favorites because they're incredible athletes, all right? But if I had to choose, it'd probably be Chase and Forkner, honestly. I mean, Deegan's right there too. Joe, Wasabi Joe. They made that up on the spot, and they asked him in the press conference, and Joe's like, what the hell is that? So
also, like, listen, if he was like Mexican, if we called him like Enchilada Joe, I feel like we're like teetering here, right? You know, like
he likes sushi, Joe, or sushi, but
it just seems a little like you could leave the Japanese stuff out of it. It's fine, you know. You don't have to call, Jett Kangaroo Jett. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't care, but it's just funny that we're like, yeah, Sushi Joe, Wasabi Joe,
I don't know,
Sashimi Joe, if I'm gonna go my favorite riders, I gotta go AP 450K, no glaze, just he's the boy. AP and Tomac, and then I think of the current field, I think I'm gonna go with what you said. I think I would go Forkner, Deeks.
Yeah, and Joe,
yeah, it's tough.
Mikel Harp's growing on me though.
He is.
And obviously Jalik too. Shout to the boy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
honestly,
like
everybody at Triumph.
yeah. The whole Triumph team is sick. Jordan Smith creates some incredible entertainment. Austin Forkner's awesome. But I do really like Seth Hamaker too. Garrett's growing on
now
me.
You're okay. Too many riders now.
I'm saying, bro. Like
Anyway, Mason asks, who are our MX the Nation's picks, and it's Tomac, Chase, and Deegan. Yeah, I mean, let's be
AP sick. Mr. J. Coop. He's not doing okay, huh? He's doing all right. But
my backup would be RJ.
Facts. At this point, I think if it wasn't like, I think we have to do Deegan, Tomac. Tomac's been there. Deegan's clearly the best 250 guy that's American.
Chase the only guy to beat Jett this year.
Chase the only guy to beat Jett. I've kind of flipped my script on, like, I was pretty anti-Chase being the pick for the American team, but I didn't know AP was going to get sick. I kind of thought they would continue that trajectory of fighting for podiums, and same thing with J. Coop. J. Coop has kind of gone down, and like you just said, if I was to pick anyone other than Chase now, I think I would go RJ. I think RJ seems to be more consistent, and has a better trajectory of the direction he's going.
Yeah.
But Chase, Tomac, Deegs, oh my gosh.
Gonna be nasty. And then Lane, he asked, would you put Tomac in the open class? And I would put Chase in MX1 and then Deeks MX2.
Yeah.
And then Skeptor asks, does Sexton win another round? I think he has a chance. 100%. Let's be real.
What? Buds.
Buds, when the championship's basically getting wrapped up. I think he can win Ironman, dude. He's really good at Ironman, which isn't too weeks.
Is Jett abnormally good at Unadilla? Are
Jett's
any of these guys
Jett's good everywhere, bro.
Well, I know, but
don't go back on that theory because we said that with Tomac and look at Tomac.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if any of them are abnormally good at Unadilla, and I don't really know.
I don't think so.
I don't think Tomac is.
Yeah. So Cruiselet, he says, what is your opinions on how they prep the track? I personally love Washougal. I agree. I thought it was great. They were able to move around a lot. I didn't like some of the sections though, like especially after you go up the hill and then you wrap back down the jump down and then go up. There's like a little braking bump there, like a little double. I didn't like that as much compared to the last couple of years. I also didn't like the after the finish where they had like a double section there. I thought a straightaway would have been a little bit better, but that's minor tweaks. I loved the triple though in the back. That was freaking great addition. So Braden asks, do you think Chase will go all in like he said he will in the SMX playoffs? I think he will. I think that brakes helped him a lot, and I think he's going to go full swing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, right?
I 100%, he needs to. If he can go out and win that, I think that would be huge for him this year. That would be the only championship he gets, but that still would be huge confidence going into next year. And then shout out to the boy Matt, your guy, Matt.
Matty Daddy?
Yep. He said, do any other 450 overall winners pop up this year, or does Jett still win out? Chase. Possibly Tomac. Just Chase. Probably Chase. So
Chase at Buds.
And then
or Hunter at Buds, maybe. Hunter's pretty good there.
I would like to see that first ever overall win would be nice for Hunter. That would be sick. And then Jordan, he asked, if Prado leaves Kawi at the end of 26, which AMA team signs him? I don't think he stays in USA. I think most likely he would go back to GPs. I know that he wants to win in Arizona. I know he wants to win in the US, right? He wants to get a supercross chip. He wants to get outdoor chip. I think personally it would have to be the KTM brand, right?
Yeah, Austrian brand, yeah.
Yeah, so, but does he actually stay? If Triumph's bike is similar to KTM, possibly, but yeah, I don't know. I don't, dude, does he stay though? That's the question. Does he stay?
This
Nick,
right, buddy's ending up on Bar X.
If he goes to Bar X, he's never staying. Let's be real. Nick says, if Chase gets on the Kawasaki and struggles too, will that be the setback for the Kawi, the bike sales? No, I don't think so. Everybody knows that Kawasaki is pretty good. So,
Jason was fine on it.
I said this earlier. You put Chase on that motorcycle, he's not going 819. I can guarantee you that he's not going 819. So, and then Blake, he says, how do you guys feel about that Triumph team? Everyone looking good in Forkner finally. We love it.
He's looking great.
That Jalik is okay, which I believe he is. That was a nasty crash. So hopefully he is okay. But Forkner's looking promising right now. Jordan Smith is looking feisty out there. And then obviously Mikel Harp, he's getting top fives consistently, basically.
Bring that dude back, man.
I agree. So we love to see it. And then Chris, he says, do you think this Joe and Hayden rivalry will become bigger than expected?
No.
I don't think so yet, because Joe's going to be in the 250 class for another 2-3 years, right? Deegan's moving up 450s, so we're not going to have that for at least 3 years. So maybe when they get to 450s, but at this rate, I think it's kind of over.
I mean, unless Joe goes out and wins Motocross of Nations on a 450, and it's whoa, Joe's really good in a 450. I feel like Joe's too inconsistent to even be in that same conversation with him, long term.
Hopefully he can be. He has been more consistent on the Honda, so hopefully that will help him next year. But like I said, Deegan's moving up. Joe's going to be in the 250 class for another 2-3 years. So is the rivalry going to be there in 3 years? Maybe, but I don't know. And then shout out to my boy Thomas. He made his first ever mains. We helped him out for this year, and he made his first ever mains for outdoor. So that's awesome. He posted a comment about that. So shout out to you. But yeah, so with all that being said, those are all of our questions. And Washougal, best moto possibly of the year. Hopefully we get another one in the next 2 rounds or so. Deegan is still the guy to beat, hands down. We have a 2-week break now, but we're going to be doing predictions probably for MXGP this weekend. Maybe a little review of MXGP next week. Then we have 2 weekends in a row of MXGP, so we might do a little prediction review for those races. But then we're actually going to be switching up our Everything Moto videos, and we're going to do like a traditional pod for those every 2 weeks. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, we're going to be switching those up, and we're going to do like a traditional pod, and I think that's going to help for the off season when we have like a couple of months off of not anything, so we can talk about a lot of different things. And hopefully we can get some riders on that, and we can have some conversations with those guys. And I think it will be extremely helpful and extremely beneficial leading into the future years. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to record that this week, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, appreciate all of you guys stopping by, leaving likes, watching the stuff. It means a lot to us. And we'll be back with our predictions video for GPs. Peace.